Hello and welcome to Top Stories today. A group socio-economic rights and accountability project has asked the World Bank to probe the loans acquired by the 36 state governors in Nigeria and immediately suspend further loans to the state until they explain how previously acquired loans were spent, just as some states have come under scrutiny for the amount spent on running costs. Hamas says it is seeking to extend the current 4-day pause in fighting with Israel and increase the number of hostages released. The High Altitude Athletics Club of Jos, one of Nigeria's premier athletics club, has announced its intention to send 25 elite athletes to the upcoming 2023 ECOWAS Abuja International Marathon. It is a lovely Monday, a beautiful day. Welcome to you here on News Hour with me, Chioma Vic Chukwemeka. A group socio-economic rights and accountability project has asked the World Bank to probe the loans acquired by the 36 state governors in Nigeria and immediately suspend further loans to the state until they explain how previously acquired loans were spent, just as some states have come under scrutiny for the amounts spent on running costs. The group's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, made the demand in a letter addressed to the World Bank President Ajay Banga and made available to newsmen. While expressing concerns over the rising debt profile of the 36 states, SERAP alleged that the state had mismanaged and diverted public funds, stressing that it would be irresponsible to continue giving loans to the states. SERAP noted that if the World Bank failed to probe the state governors, it would not hesitate to institute legal actions against the lending body and the 36 states. SERAP urged the World Bank to use its legal powers to send independent monitors to all the states that had acquired loans from it and monitor how these loans were spent so that loans acquired by the governors would not be used to fund their private lifestyles. Moving along, aggrieved people of Iwomotoro in the southern Ijaw local government area of Bayelsa State yesterday Sunday staged a peaceful protest against the invasion of the coastal community by the military gunboats. The protesters, made up of youth, women, men and chiefs who demonstrated in the community in several videos posted online, claimed that the onslaught was reportedly at the instance of the All Progressives Congress deputy governorship candidate in the just concluded state governorship election, Joshua Maxiva. They also alleged that Maxiva masterminded the invasion to oppress them and also install one Friday Jonathan, who had been rejected as the paramount ruler of the community. The community equally claimed that the APC chieftain was using his links with a pipeline surveillance firm in the Niger Delta region, Tantina Security Services Limited, to cause mayhem in the community. They vowed to resist any attempt to impose an unwanted stooge as the paramount ruler of the community. We move right here to Kwara State, where the state government has expressed its readiness to collaborate with any donor agency to eradicate open defecation in the state. The State Commissioner for Water Resources, Yunusa Lade, gave the assurance when the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund WASH specialist, Mrs. Teresa Palmer, visited his office in Ilorin, the state capital. The commissioner said the state government had set aside 200 million naira to provide toilets and other utilities that will discourage open defecation. He said lawmakers, both at the state and federal levels, had been engaged in the need to complement the effort of the state government to eradicate open defecation. The Archbishop of Sokoto Catholic Diocese, Bishop Matthew Kukah, has decried the involvement of the judiciary in politics. Kukah spoke at the 8th House of Justice Summit in Kaduna, where he was keynote speaker at the weekend. Speaking on the summit theme, electoral accountability and democratic stability, Kukah said it was unfortunate that the Nigerian judiciary had become entangled in politics. Also speaking on the occasion, Senator Shehu Sani, who represented Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the 8th National Assembly, called for a judicial reform to ensure that those who will preside over electoral cases are insulated from compromise. He added that the President, Bola Tinubu, must initiate an electoral reform ahead of the next general elections. We move right now to education, where the universities in Nigeria are battling a severe shortage of staff as thousands of lecturers leave the tertiary institutions to seek greener pastures in foreign lands amid the high number of retirements at the universities. The Academic Staff Union of Universities branches, in separate interviews with newsmen yesterday Sunday, confirmed this, adding that the shortage was due to the surge in the exit of the lecturers out of Nigeria and the concerns around the integrated personnel and payroll information system. ASUU Adisman Danfodio University Sokoto said about 100 lecturers had left the university, while the union at the Federal University Gusau, Zamfara, disclosed that the institution was in need of about 1,000 lecturers to fill the vacancies created by those who left. The union at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State, said over 350 academic vacancies were available at the institution, where 27 lecturers had left 2 faculties at the University of Lagos, as 100 workers at the University of Uyo traveled out of the country. The union disclosed that about 500 academic vacancies existed at the University of Ilorin in Kwara State, while both academic and non-academic staff at the Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology were leaving the country. In Anambra State, the state governor, Professor Soludo, has assured of creating policies targeted more at improving the lives of the poor and forgotten in the society. Governor Soludo stated this during his one-day work visit to Olumbanasa, Anambra West Council area. The governor journeyed on about 2-hour boat trip to the location, and on arrival, he navigated the communities with the help of a keke amidst chants and praises from the visibly happy people who confirmed that it was the first time a sitting governor remembered to pay them a visit. Among the places visited by the governor were Ila, Odebe, Onugwa and Iwedo communities. Speaking at Iwedo, the governor revealed that part of the reasons he applied to be governor was to search out ways to positively touch the lives of the poor, downtrodden and forgotten, particularly people in Owaru, Oka North and Anambra West, adding that the visit was in fulfillment of his campaign promise to the people. While enumerating some of his policies for the poor, including the free tuition, free antenatal and delivery services, human capital development, among others, Governor Soludo assured the people of Olumbanasa of helping them achieve their God-given potential by rebuilding the infrastructures in the community. We'll take a break right now. When we return, we'll continue with Anambra State. Stay with us. Welcome back to News Hour here on TV Sapientia. Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption RoLAC program, in collaboration with civil society organizations CSO, have held town hall meetings in commemoration of 2023 International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls. The town hall meetings held at Okozo, Nanka and Nibo communities had in attendance members of the CSOs and stakeholders from the communities visited. The event, commemorated every 25th November, is Unite, Invest to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls, No Excuse. Global statistics reveal that an estimated 736 million women and girls experience gender-based violence at least once in their lifetime. The Anambra State Coordinator of Violence Against Persons Prohibition VAP Law Implementation Committee, Mrs. Lovett Onyedilefu, explained that the program, which is 16 days activism, is a campaign against different forms of gender-based violence, which began on 25th November, being the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls, which will end on 10th of December, with several key activities lined up for the days. Members of the Anambra State team include Mrs. Yukeria Anekwe, Mrs. Ifeona Chukwu, Honorable Beatrice Nwoye, and Mrs. Chinyere Nwofo, among others. Still in Anambra State, the state government has reiterated its commitment towards making Anambra a technological hub in Nigeria and provide employment solutions for the youth. The Special Advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on Innovation and Business Activation, Ms. Chinwo Koli, who stated this during the Tech on Anambra 2023 held at the Kenneth DK Library. Orca revealed that the Solution Innovation District is geared towards making Anambra State a replica of Silicon Valley to be a hub for technological and digital innovation of international standard. She also emphasized that the idea will help business owners to maximize opportunities for their business, create employment, and change the narrative, urging the people to key into the plan. Mr. Zikora Chukwuka, the convener of Tech on Anambra, noted that technology is a powerful tool which has revolutionized the world and drives world economies, pointing out that the aim of the event was to discuss technology applied in solving world problems, providing a platform for youths who are passionate about technology through learning digital skills and making Anambra State a digital hub in the nation. The event had panel discussions, question and answer session with hosts of speakers. The stories from around the world. Hamas says it is seeking to extend the current 4-day pause in fighting with Israel and increase the number of hostages it released. Israel's PM has said the original agreements could be extended, but Israeli operations in Gaza would resume with full force after the truce period. Meanwhile, More Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners are due to be released on Monday on the final day of the current truce period. On Sunday, 14 Israeli hostages and 3 foreign nationals were released by Hamas in exchange for 39 Palestinian prisoners. Gazans have been using the pause in fighting to get desperately needed supplies of fuel, food and medicine. Hamas attacks on 7th of October killed 1,200 people, with about 240 taken hostage. Since then, Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 14,500 people have been killed in Israel's retaliatory campaign. Some other stories: the United Arab Emirates plans to use its role as the host of UN climate talks as an opportunity to strike oil and gas deals. Leaked briefing documents reveal plans to discuss fossil fuel deals with 15 nations. The UN body responsible for the COP28 summit told International News they were expected to act without bias or self-interest. The UAE team did not deny using COP28 meetings for business talks and said private meetings are private. It declined to comment on what was discussed in the meetings and said its work has been focused on meaningful climate action. Sierra Leone's nighttime curfew imposed after armed men freed prison inmates has been lifted for now. Detainees from a number of major facilities were released on Sunday morning, said the West African nation's information minister. President Julio Maada Bios later said most of the leaders behind the attack had been arrested. In a televised address, he described the event as a breach of security and an attack on democracy. He carefully avoided calling them an attempted coup. He said calm had been restored, but gave no details about who the perpetrators were or what they wanted. There will be a new 9-hour nighttime curfew beginning at 21:00 local time, 21:00 GMT today, Monday. That's according to Information Ministry. Niger Republic has started running its biggest solar power plant, filling in the shortage brought about by a cut in imported power supply from neighboring Nigeria in July. Nigeria, which accounted for 70% of Niger's Republic power, cut its electricity supply in August after neighboring countries imposed sanctions on Nigerian military leaders who overthrew elected President Mohamed Bazoum. Most of Niger's Republic has since then suffered frequent blackouts. Energy Minister Mohamed Mustafa Bark said on Sunday that quality of electricity supply had improved in the capital and other towns following the coming online of the solar plants. The French embassy in Mali has said it notes the operational launch of the plant, but warns that it faces operational risk as it could not be finalized under the conditions initially planned. The plant, built by a French consortium, was initiated in 2018 and inaugurated on July 5 this year. French relations with the Nigerian junta have soured since the coup. The plant has over 55,000 solar panels and can generate 30 megawatts of electricity. We take another break right now. When we return, we move into the interesting and splendid world of sports. Kindly stay with us. Welcome back to News Hour. Today, we move right now to sports news. English Premier League side West Ham United are pushing hard to sign Sporting's and Porto left-back Zaidu Sanusi during the January transfer window. The Hamas are in the market to find a replacement for Aaron Cresswell, who has spent 9 years with the club since joining from Ipswich Town in 2014. After 8 seasons, the 33-year-old almost left the London Stadium outfit in the summer, but the club managed to hold on to him. After a loss against Kenya and a share of the points against Rwanda, the Yellow Greens shook off their slow start with a superb chase of Tanzania's 139 runs from the first innings after the East Africans opted to bat first. Like he did in the 4-wicket loss to Kenya, Useni, who was moved up to batting order by coach Steve Tikolo, stepped up with critical boundaries that lifted the team when the run rate leaked. They chalked up 34 runoffs and 19 balls. Shashan Adedeji also put up 24 runs off 26 balls, while spine bowler Ridwan Abdul Karim contributed 16 runs off 12 balls, including 2 wickets he snatched in the first innings. The win has restored any hope of top 2 finish from the 7 nation qualifiers for Nigeria as they face Uganda on Monday at the United Cricket Ground. The Nigerian Football Federation has expressed huge surprise following the late withdrawals of Ashat Oshola and Jennifer Echegini, as both players voluntarily opted out of the Super Falcons 2024 Women Africa Cup of Nations final qualifying fixture against Cape Verde. The Falcons take on Cape Verde in the first leg of the encounter at Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja on Thursday. As the players are expected to start arriving today, the country's football governing body announced on Sunday that the Barcelona striker and the American-based midfielder will not take part in the WAFCON qualifiers, while coach Justin Madugu had been compelled to pick replacements for the duo. In a statement by the NFF Communications Department, Assistant Director Technical Abdurrafiu Yusuf said the two players had been sent their flight tickets to travel to Nigeria a whole week before they announced on Saturday that they would be unable to join the squad. Rivers United started their group stage campaign in the 2023-24 CAF Confederation Cup on an impressive note, with a 3-0 victory against Academia do Lobito of Angola in Uyo on Sunday yesterday. It took Stanley Eguma's side 3 minutes to take the lead through Samuel Antwi after he was set up by Paul Ode. Ode then got on the scorer's sheet himself 2 minutes after the break before the host put the game beyond the visitors, with Shadrach Ashiebu netting the third on the hour mark. Top 64 players, boys and girls, in the under-15 and under-19 categories will compete at the first Daniel Ford International Elite Youth Invitational National Table Tennis Championship from December 21 to 22 at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. Organizers said there is a tournament sponsored by UK-based property firm Daniel Ford International and organized by the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, with a major aim of unearthing talent and contributing to the growth of table tennis in the country. According to the CEO of Daniel Ford Foundation International, Yemi Edun, the decision to sponsor the tournament is born out of his passion for the sport, having grown up in the Surulere area of Lagos, considered as a sports capital of Nigeria. Former champions Toby Adebakane and Kehinde Akambi are among the top players who have expressed interest to be part of the third Kaduri Aruna National Table Tennis Open, just as they are ready to reclaim the titles they won at the maiden edition in 2021. The 2023 edition is scheduled to hold from November 29 to December 3 at Eco Club in Lagos. The tournament, which started as a cadet tournament, has grown to become a national open for senior, junior and cadet players within and outside Lagos State. Finally, in sports, the High Altitude Athletics Club of Jos, one of Nigeria's premier athletics clubs, has announced its intention to send 25 elite athletes to the upcoming 2023 ECOWAS Abuja International Marathon. Nuhu also expressed confidence in his team's ability to sweep the podium, particularly in the women's category. The ECOWAS Abuja International Marathon, scheduled for December 16, features 2 categories: a half marathon and a 5-kilometer fun run. The half marathon winner will receive a cash prize of $10,000, while the second and third place finishers will earn $5,000 and $4,000 respectively. With our story from the High Altitude Athletics, we'll wrap it up on the news today. Let's check the headlines once more. We told you that a group's Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has asked the World Bank to probe the loans acquired by the 36 state governors in Nigeria and immediately suspend further loans to the state until they explain how previously acquired loans were spent, just as some states have come under scrutiny for the amount spent on running costs. Hamas says it is seeking to extend the current 4-day pause in fighting with Israel and increase the number of hostages released. The High Altitude Athletics Club of Jos, one of Nigeria's premier athletics clubs, has announced its intention to send 25 athletes to the upcoming 2023 ECOWAS Abuja International Marathon. That's it on the World News today. On behalf of the editorial news and production team, I am Choma Vic Chukwemeka. Thank you so much for joining us on TV Sapiencia. Kindly be security conscious, be on the alert, and do have a productive and smashing week ahead of you. Good afternoon from here.